The U.S. Navy has the most advanced air defense systems on planet Earth. Billions of dollars in interceptor missiles. Destroyers that track and kill threats from hundreds of miles away. But there's a $20,000 drone that's become an expensive problem with no solution. No fighter jet, no warship. Just a propeller-driven drone the size of a motorcycle, which sounds like a lawnmower, launched from a truck. So how does a weapon that cheap terrorize the most powerful navy in the world? On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, targeting Iranian military installations and command infrastructure. Iran responded with waves of drones and ballistic missiles that moved simultaneously towards Israel and U.S. military bases across the Gulf countries. Then Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's seaborne oil and liquefied natural gas transits that corridor daily. And when it's shut, oil prices surged from under $70 a barrel to $139 at their peak. Washington didn't sit at the ceasefire table because they were outgunned. They sat down because they were terrified. While the Navy won every battle in the air, the U.S. was losing the war at the gas pump. Iran didn't need to sink a single carrier to win. They just needed to make the status quo too expensive to sustain. The weapon is called the Shahed 136. This drone is a delta-winged, propeller-driven loitering munition. It's 3.5 meters long with a wingspan of 2.5 meters, built from lightweight fiberglass and carbon fiber to keep production costs low. At the rear sits an Iranian-made piston engine driving a two-bladed pusher propeller. The nose carries between 30 and 50 kilograms of explosive warheads, and navigation runs on commercial-grade GPS and inertial guidance. It fires at approximately 185 kilometers per hour, ranges between 1,500 and 2,500 kilometers, and operates at altitudes as low as 60 meters, placing it well below the detection threshold of most conventional radar. Its unit cost sits between $20,000 and $50,000. Alongside it operates the smaller Shahed 131, used to probe air defenses ahead of larger strikes, and the Houthi-built Samad series, assembled in Yemen on Iranian technology. The Shahed family runs on one principle: cheap, mass-produced, and expendable. And that's always going to put pressure on expensive, precision-built, and finite weaponry. That principle becomes a doctrine the moment Iran fires more than one. Trucks back into position, racks lift, and rocket-assisted boosters push waves of drones into the air within seconds, with no fixed silo to locate beforehand, and no meaningful launch signature to detect in time. The first wave arrives on radar as a cluster of slow contacts, followed by a second, then a third. Each one is cheap enough to lose, and each one that gets through justifies the entire salvo. In the opening week of Operation Epic Fury, Iran fired over 2,000 drones. The UAE Ministry of Defense reported that most of the launched Shahed drones reached their targets, striking ports, airports, and data centers. Shaheds hit the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain and U.S. bases across Qatar, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia. The Center for Strategic and International Studies estimated the value of interceptors expended in the first 100 hours at approximately $1.7 billion. The deeper logic of the swarm is not the damage the drones cause on impact. The swarms go first to exhaust interceptor stockpiles, and then Iran's ballistic missiles follow into the gaps created by that exhaustion. The effect was impact damage and complete depletion. Every interceptor looks like a win on radar and a loss on the balance sheet. The math of the intercept is a nightmare. To kill a $20,000 plastic drone, the U.S. Navy is forced to fire golden bullets. We're talking about missiles costing up to $15 million each, launched at targets that cost less than the interceptor's tail fins. It's not a defense strategy, it's a wealth transfer. Every confirmed kill on the radar is a massive loss on the U.S. Treasury's balance sheet. Secretary of State Marco Rubio put the gap bluntly. Iran produces over 100 drones a month, while the US produces approximately 6 or 7 high-end interceptors in that same period. The math is simple, and it's terrifying. It takes a high-tech factory 3 years to build just one of these missiles. Iran can build a drone in a weekend. Right now, the US is burning through its ammo faster than it can buy it. Every time a ship pulls a trigger, it creates a hole in the warehouse that won't be filled until 2029. We are literally firing our future defenses just to survive the next hour. It's not just a gap in the budget, it's a countdown to an empty silo. An Arleigh Burke-class destroyer carries 90 to 96 vertical launch system cells, and standard Doctrine requires firing 2 interceptors per incoming threat. In a sustained barrage, a ship can exhaust that inventory in hours, and when it does, it cannot reload at sea, simply becoming an expensive paperweight. It has to withdraw from the theater entirely, leave its patrol zone uncovered, and wait days or weeks at a port before returning. A fleet that's Winchester, military code for out of ammo, is a fleet that is already lost. Take a look at the USS Gerald R. Ford, which was pulled from the theater to a safe port for repairs in March 2026 without a single drone touching it. A warship off station can't defend shipping, provide air cover, or deter the next strike. The Navy's proposed answer to the cost problem is directed energy. A laser weapon carries a functionally unlimited magazine and fires at a marginal cost of under $10 per shot. The Navy bet $350 million that lasers would be the silver bullet, light speed kills for $10 a shot. It looked perfect in the lab, but the Persian Gulf isn't a lab. Salt spray, desert dust, and humidity choked the beams. By 2026, the Pentagon finally admitted the truth. The high-tech future was defeated by the weather. The project was killed, leaving the fleet with nothing but expensive, empty promises. With no laser solution at scale and interceptor stockpiles under strain, the U.S. response came from an unexpected direction. In December 2025, U.S. Central Command deployed Lucas, a low-cost, uncrewed combat attack system built by Arizona-based Spectre Works at approximately $35,000 per unit and reverse engineered directly from a captured Iranian Shahed 136. A U.S. official confirmed the process. They obtained an Iranian drone, dismantled it, and built an American version. Lucas operates autonomously, carries a warhead, and launches from trucks, ships, or catapults, and some variants carry Starlink terminals for networked swarming. Its first combat use was February 28, 2026, the opening day of Operation Epic Fury, fired against the country whose weapon he copied. A $35,000 offensive platform replaces the need for a $4 million interceptor. The world's most powerful military spent 18 months reverse engineering a $50,000 Iranian drone. It's the ultimate admission. If you can't beat this war, you have to join it. Now, we can't look at this without mentioning the Strait of Hormuz. When Iran closed it, oil prices surged to the largest monthly increase in the history of the world's energy market. The International Energy Agency called it the greatest global energy security challenge in history. The global food, fertilizer, and aluminum increased massively. U.S. military costs reached between $25 and $35 billion. Not a single U.S. warship was sunk. A navy doesn't have to be destroyed to be defeated. It only has to become too expensive to sustain. The biggest question is, how long can any navy afford to fight a war it wins tactically but loses economically one interceptor at a time? If you want to stay ahead of the curve on global flashpoints and modern naval warfare, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because what's coming is even bigger than this. We'll keep you updated on the front lines. Thanks for watching.